This is a calculator-free question, and it's asking us to find the derivative of this particularly gross looking equation. So straight away, we can see that it is a function divided by another function. So we can say that g of x is going to be equal to, let's give it another name. Let's call this thing, let's call it h and f. Okay, so in this case, h of x is going to be equal to our ln on x, and our f of x is going to be equal to our x to the power of 3. Now, you can use the quotient rule, but let's just say it's really easy to make mistakes because there's a minus sign involved. So we can say that g of x, like g, I'm just going to not write the x's here to save on space. So g dot is equal to the top function, h, the bottom function, minus by the top function normal, minus by the bottom function, all divided by the bottom function squared. Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't like using the quotient rule. It's a bit annoying. You've got this square business in here, you've got the minus. It's kind of easy to make mistakes. There's another trick. I prefer to use the product rule. And that is where we do a trick. If we have 1 divided by 3, we can say that is 3 to the negative 1. Likewise, we can say that this is ln of x, x to the minus 3. And that's the trick. Now we can use the product rule. Okay, so you might have seen the product rule before. So we can say, again, h is equal to ln on x, and then our f is equal to x to the minus 3. And therefore, we can say it's like just write out the equation f plus hf, and we put a tick on one and a tick on the other. And that's it. So now by just adding that little negative sign, everything works correctly. And there's no fractions and crazy simplification. It'll come later because we've got that negative sign, but it'll just be a lot easier. So let's figure out what is h equal to. H, when we differentiate it, will be equal to 1 divided by x. F differentiated is equal to minus 3 x minus 4. Okay? And then, so now that we've got that, we can match them all up. So we can match up this guy is this one, and this one becomes this one. And so I'd recommend kind of writing this table. You see I've got 4 of these table here. It just makes it so much easier so you don't have to do the maths in your head while you're substituting it. And then I'll just use the others. So we've got this one goes across to here, and finally this one goes across to here. Perfect. Let's do the substitution. So g prime of x is equal to 1 divided by x times by our normal x to the negative 3, all right, plus our regular ln on x, and then times by, I like to put a bracket around it so I don't get the negative signs mixed up. Oh, apologies, accidentally hit the scroll bar instead. Okay, so now that we've got all of that, let's do some simplification. So you don't have to do this. Normally this is good enough for your exam question. I just want to make sure that you understand how to use the product rule. But let's do some simplification just so you understand how it all works. Now, that minus 3 we can actually write as x like this. Likewise, all right, and we can leave the minus 3 there, and we can pull down that x to the 4. Okay? So now what happens is we can mash them together. So that becomes 1 over x to the power of 4 plus minus 3 ln x all divided by x to the power of 4. So because they have the same common denominator, that means that we can mush them together. So let's say if I've got a box or a pizza and it's got 2 slices, and I have 3 slices of that pizza plus another slice over here, we can mesh them together. We can say because they have the same the denominator there, they have a common denominator, you might have heard of that before, we can push them across here. Okay, so the same principle applies. Let's say that our g of x that's been differentiated is now just all over that x to the power of 4, 1 minus by 3 ln of x. And there we go. Voila, we're done. Simplified it. We probably didn't need to do that. It didn't ask us to simplify it in the question, but just so you get used to fractions, it's a really good skill to have. You don't need to do it in the exam, but you probably need to do it as practice so that if you do get a question that's really fraction heavy, you know what to do. You know the tricks. Perfect. If you have any questions, reach out. We'd love to help. Like the video if it's something that you found helpful. We have plenty of other exam questions like this on our website, so find that in the description below.